Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the academic party and the Chancellor.
I declare that the 495th Convocation of McMaster University for the conferring of degrees is now in session.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me invite you to take your seats. I am Eileen Bush-Vishniak, Provost and Vice President Academic of McMaster University. This morning, I have the great pleasure of acting as your Master of Ceremonies and of welcoming all of you to Convocation. Before we start our formal program, may I first ask everyone in the hall to switch off any electronic device that may bing, ding, ping, ring, or sing. Thank you. Now I call upon our Chancellor, Dr. Linton Wilson, to make some opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Madam Provost, and a very good morning to you all. President, Vice Chancellor, Dean, President McIsaac, Mohawk College, Dean Kelton, Dr. Tompkins, our honorary graduate, members of the platform party, including our colleagues from Mohawk College, ladies and gentlemen, graduates. Very warm welcome to this 495th Convocation of McMaster University. To those graduating, you've reached an important milestone, an exciting milestone in your lives. Many of you will begin careers, embarking on new journeys. Some of you will be continuing your education, training, or preparation for more advanced or specialized activities. To the parents, grandparents, family members, spouses, and friends here today, you may bask in reflected glory and take pride in the accomplishments being recognized in this convocation. To our faculty and staff, today marks tangible recognition of your efforts, particularly the successes of your students evident in this ceremony. I wish you all an enjoyable morning.
I would like now to introduce Dr. Patrick Dean, President and Vice Chancellor of McMaster University, who will be presenting our honorary degree recipient.
Mr. Chancellor, by the authority of the Senate of McMaster University, I have the honor to present Sister Simone Roach. Sister Simone Roach is a nursing professor and scholar whose unique contributions to the study of health professions, and specifically her comprehensive work on the concept of caring, has advanced the study of nursing and placed her among the ranks of the most influential thinkers on the practice of health care. Growing up in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, Sister Roach earned a nursing diploma from the St. Joseph's School of Nursing and entered nursing practice with the Sisters of St. Martha in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. After a year of nursing practice, she pursued her undergraduate degree at St. Francis Xavier University, and then graduate studies at the University of Toronto, Boston University, and the Catholic University of America. She completed postdoctoral work at Harvard Divinity School and Regis College in Toronto. It was at Regis College where she began her influential work on the study of caring. Sister Roach returned to Nova Scotia as the chair of the Department of Nursing at St. Francis Xavier and began work on a series of 4 books which introduced and explored the concept of the 5 C's that constitute caring: compassion, confidence, competence, conscience, and commitment. This concept includes a comprehensive evaluation and exploration of the philosophy of caring, with Sister Roach calling for an approach of human understanding and compassion to be at the core of professional caregiving. These concepts explored and defined the different roles that caregivers take on in the healthcare professions, and she subsequently applied these concepts to the constantly changing technological context of the profession. Sister Roach's thoughts on the role of caring have influenced practitioners across the globe. She has lectured at the University of Cambridge and the University of Stirling in Scotland, as well as numerous other appearances in Australia, Thailand, Finland, Russia, the United States, and of course, Canada. She has also been recognized for her work as an educator, and she is well respected for her keystone role in the ongoing conversation on the definitions and applications of ethical practices in nursing. Sister Roach has been recognized with a number of awards, including being appointed a member of the Order of Canada, an honor she received on June 30th, 2010, from then Governor-General of Canada, Her Excellency the Right Honorable Michael Jean. Mr. Chancellor, Sister Simone Roach is a pioneer. Her work on the study of caring has paved the way for greater understanding of nursing practice across the globe. Her influential work has changed the way nurses and other healthcare practitioners approach their professions and their patients. I ask, Mr. Chancellor, that you confer upon Sister Roach the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Simone Roach, by the authority of McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, in McMaster University, with all the rights and privileges pertaining to that degree. Congratulations to you. Come and sign the roll. It's now my pleasure to ask Dr. Roach to deliver the convocation address. Dr. Roach.
Thank you so much, and good morning. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, Vice Chancellor, faculty, graduands, all who are here, and I can't see you, but I know you're there, including everybody. It's a special privilege for me to be here, and it has historical significance for me. But I'm particularly honored today to become a member of your community, and for this I feel greatly privileged. My experience has, as I said, historical significance, for on March 11th, 1980, I gave one of my first public addresses here at McMaster, presenting the Gladys Sharp Memorial Lecture. Following the Gladys Sharp leadership, McMaster has made a contribution to the nursing profession for which all of us need to be proud. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate nursing graduates and those of medical science, medical radiation science, who follow this tradition. You have received a broad knowledge base that enhances your opportunities for continued learning and advancement. The healthcare system needs you as practitioners to become partners in a team of healthcare that will move from individualized practice to a collaborative model of service that provides more efficient care in hospital and in community. Your knowledge base, however, is energized by a natural gift each of you has, your capacity for compassion, defined as a way of living born out of an awareness of your relationship to all living creatures. Henry Nouwen's reflections on compassion provide a vivid description of your professional roles in this relationship. And I quote, "Compassion involves us in going where it hurts, to enter into places of pain, to share in brokenness, fear, confusion, and anguish. Compassion challenges us to cry out with those in misery, to mourn with those who are lonely, to weep with those in tears. Compassion requires us to be weak with the weak, vulnerable with the vulnerable, and powerless with the powerless. Compassion means full immersion in the condition of being human." Unquote. In my nursing experience as a teacher in both diploma and degree students, I made it a point to ask them why they came into nursing in the very beginning of the program before they got spoiled. With few exceptions, they told me they came into nursing because they wanted to care for people. Because of a personal preoccupation with the meaning of human care, I asked another fundamental question. What is the nurse doing when he or she is caring? The response included everything from sitting by a patient's bed, participation in a very complex procedure, care of a person in crisis in a critical care unit, attending to the needs of a family member. And because of all of the above and the all-inclusiveness of this, I developed and summarized into the manageable categories of the C's that have just been noted. This model was used for a number of years to describe nursing activities, to assess and evaluation, but it did not fully and accurately answer the question I was asking: what is caring in itself? It's like saying the grass is green, but it doesn't say anything about what the grass is. And that inquiry led me into ontology. And it's almost 30 years after my first public lecture at McMaster, carrying a concept central to nursing, that my research led me to a theory, the understanding of caring as the human mode of being. You and I care not because we are nurses or radiation technologists, but because we are human beings. That is why students said they came into nursing because they wanted to care for people. It was a natural. And this great gift that characterizes who we are as human persons is expressed automatically in everyday experience. The mother who responds at 3 a.m. to the distress of a child, the decision to go on duty when I would prefer to attend a social event, to respond to a major calamity in the area where I live. A need to care for others is what called you into your chosen profession and what will sustain you in its joys, in its conflicts, and the many challenges you will face. A critical incident taken from a study by a nurse in a large health center in a neighboring city tells the story of nursing as experienced by many of us. And this is a real example. A patient was admitted to a ward at 2:30 p.m. with neither a known name nor address. He was found in a bus shack in a serious condition and not responding. The nurse spent as much time as she could with him, but as her shift came to an end, she realized this man, this human person, was dying and had no one to be with him when he died. She decided to stay beyond her call of duty. So she stood by his bed, providing the help she thought would make him comfortable, moistening his lips, changing his position, and noting occasionally that he would open his eyes as if knowing she was there. You can imagine what might have been going through her mind. A prayer? This person could be my father, my grandfather, a human person who has a family of his own. And she wiped his forehead with a cool cloth and held his hand. This, I believe, is healthcare at its best. Today, you received a degree with its seal indicating you have fulfilled the requirements of this great university, that you are a safe practitioner, ready to leave here with the credentials needed for your prescribed service. As I ponder this previous incident and the calls that become ever more challenging, I am reminded of that oft-quoted line of Robert Frost. The last stanza, he says, "The woods are lovely, dark, and deep." And from there, I'm going to paraphrase. But you have promises to keep, and many miles to go before you sleep. And many beautiful, challenging miles to go before you sleep. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Roach, on behalf of all of us here this morning, for those inspirational words. Dr. Roach and I were discussing in the dressing room ages, and it wouldn't be proper for me to relate the numbers, but I would say that we're all grateful, Dr. Roach, that the good Lord has given you so much time to do the work that you've done and all you've done for the nursing profession and for Canada. Congratulations to you. I would only add that we're very proud to have you as an alumna of McMaster University, and we look forward to continuing the association with you. Thank you very much again, Dr. Roach.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the portion of our ceremony that I suspect a number of you have been anticipating for more than a couple years. That is the conferral of degrees. Dr. Patrick Dean will now come forward to present the graduands to our Chancellor for admission to their degrees.
Graduates, will you please stand? Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of McMaster University Senate, I present to you these candidates in order that you may confer the appropriate degrees and diplomas upon them, and I bear witness that they are worthy and suitable.
Graduands, by my authority and that of the McMaster University Senate, I have the great pleasure to admit you to your individual degrees in McMaster University with all of the rights and privileges pertaining to those degrees. My sincere congratulations to you all. Please be seated.
Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of McMaster University Senate, may I also request that you confer the appropriate degrees in absentia upon all those candidates who have successfully completed the required course of study but who are not present.
I declare all these degrees conferred in absentia.
Graduates, I now ask each of you to join me on stage so that the Chancellor and I may welcome you into the McMaster community of scholars.
Ladies and gentlemen, it would be appreciated if during the presentation of the graduands, you would hold your applause to the end of each degree category. Thank you. Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Catherine S. Getz Perry. Nancy Ann Matthew Maitch. Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Master of Science. Cara Emily Henry. Christine Mary Mantz. Laura Lynn Stephanie Tyrell.
Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Tizia Berhanu Abagazi. Leslie Claire Abel. Alicia Agarwal. Carolina Aldana. Morgan Allen. Heather Elizabeth Alm. Chelsea Dawn Ament. Larissa Lynn Anderson. Sheilamite Apia Kubi. Alana Aquino. Ashley Rose Arnold. Renu Aurora. Josephine Asamoah. Lindsay Atkinson. Joshua Abraham Bailey. Janie Baker. Mark Christoph Baluyut. Alita Lavina Barrett. Natalia Barrett. Autumn Lee Bartlett. Stacy Denise Bastian. Emma Kathleen Battiston. Tracy Ann Battle. Lauren Nicole Bailey. Bozana Beard. Jennifer Beckett. Amanda Corrine Bell. Melissa Christine Bellingham. Alicia Marie Benbow. Michelle A. Bennett. Samantha Bentley. Karen Sousa Bento. Brianne Berry. Leanna Rachel Oldham Bested. Mandeep Boular. Hannah Bigham. Kirsten Sarah Bildfeld. Melanie Bishendat. Claire Alexandra Blood. Viliana Moganbilova. Andrea Borden. Carling Tina Boyle. Tijana Bozic. Melissa Bradley. Sarah Nicole Breakwell. Kyla Barbara Brenneman. Danielle Browning. Amanda Lee Brunning. Kelsey Ann Brunton. Julie Bryce. Vanessa Alexis Buckingham. Patricia Burnett. Erin Morgan Bastide. Tatiana Calle. Maria Cristina Camaya. Leanne Evelyn Marie Campbell. Lara Capostaño. Laura Caron. Alisa Cashella. Melanie Cave. Laura Cerconi. Kelsey Hugh C. Chan. Prashant Chauvan. Sanya Chala. Victoria Chekhov. Yu Lian Chen. Denise Patricia Chiassen. Kelly Adele Chasen. Amanda Chu. Monica Na Chiwara. Christopher Chu Yeo. Miriam Esther Siberka. Arlen Joy Esta Clemente. Andrew James Clutton. Shannon Christine Clutton. Francesco Antonio Cucharo. Nicole Lynn Corshane. Deborah Ann Couto. Jennifer Cowie. Jessa Craig. Julia Lee Cran. Kelly Cernick. Nicole Cross. Sarah D'Angelo. Michelle Da Silva. Melinda Damon. Laura Davison. Jamie Lee Dowdy. Janine DeBoer. Vincent Dominique Polonio de la Torre. Sabrina De Serrano. Regina De Lawtonville. Natalie Michelle Densmore. Emily Ellen Devine. Megan Desick. Stephanie Victoria Diogo. Roxana Dolescu. T. Lien Dong. Jacqueline Dorsch. Sofia dos Santos. Emily Dossman. Christine Dovigi. Michelle Teresa Doyle. Rebecca Louise Doyle. Fraser Drummond. Natasha Duckno. Christina Dudas. Megan Duffy. Jolene Duguay. Lori Duncan. Caitlin Eberth. Larissa Louise Eden. Nicole Patricia Edwards. Chris Edwin. Monica Eichler. Jillian Izenga. Nicole Marie Ellis. Leanne Alexandra Engelbrett Rodriguez. Sarah May Evans. Chelsea Fallis. Melissa Jean Ferguson. Amanda Paulina Fernandez. Nicole Fernandez. Stephanie Ann Finelli. Salvador Enrique Flores. Alexandra Alicia Frazek. Renee Fredericks. Nicole Gabrielle. Angeline Grace Galang. Katarina Anna Galkowski. Stephanie Gale. Catherine Marie Geisel. Adam Gesicki. Kyle Giannoni. Tanya Gladovic. Joshua David Goal. David Gonzalez. Julie Goodwin. Faye Anne-Marie Gordon. Helga Gotch. Giovanna Elaine Grazzi. Melanie Kristen Green. Stephanie Greenfield. Nicole Catherine Griffith.
Christina Dawn Haining. Nadia Hajir Amiri. Zubeida Velia Manathal Hanifa. Patricia Marie Harmon. Karen Harnack. Tara Harper. Denise Catherine Harvey. Zhofang He. Sabrina Denise Headley. Stephanie Marie Heersink. Andrea Hefferman. Jennifer Heleniak. Fatima Henna. Lori Hergott. Delmi Hernandez. Amanda Hill. Emily Hill. Wendy Joy Hines. Natasha Yvonne Huxima. Christina Holtz. Nicole Holt-Valuer. Allison Horton. Miranda Elise Housen. Deanna Hosanovich. Rachel Marie Huber. Stefan Kozmin Ayakub. Rim Ibrahim. Tiffany Isles. Caitlin Lee Ingram. Nadia Ivanikova. Stephanie Elizabeth Jackson. Tara Joan Yucht. Janelle Yancey. Chiona Pavella Jean-Marie. Rochelle Jean Jewell. Elizabeth Jolie. V.G. Joseph. Laura Emily Carsamaker. Daphne Kaike. Andrea Kyor. Bernadette Ann Kariuki. Melissa Kaufman. Caitlin Kelly. Ishrat Khan. Sonia Kozla. Jessica King. Laura Beth King. Samantha King. Erica Cook. Jennifer Christine Cook. Yvette Epote Comey. Jasmine Kira Jade Kondraki. Elaine Kaur. Asha Koshi. Sarah Krautz. Alexandra Krakowska. Jessica Dawn Kipfer. Kelly Kufsky. Sherilyn La Rochelle. Bradley Julian Labujan. Janina Lagasan. Catherine Laguna Valenzuela. Zara Lang. Victory Lal. Megan Lanigan. Claire Latta Hall. Nicole Ann Lau. Stephanie Lynn Lorenzen. Maria Lena Law. Kathleen Isabel Lowry. Beata Leckie. Gab Yon Lee. Yeong Ah Lee. Lori Lee. Haley LeMay. Lucha Vianca Liquit. Rebecca Allison Lewicki. Jaw Lee. Jancel Lene. Melissa Jane Lipsick. Shaw Dong Louis. Courtney Dawn Loader. Justine Alicia Long. Allison Lee McDonald. Catherine McDonald Lockhart, Shannon McKay, Kylie McLeod, Sarah Jean McLeod, Reagan Jocelyn Magwood Ty, Davika Lorne Maharaj, Sana Mahmood, Darcy Mackey, Kaywana Malcolm, Peter Sean Malcolm, Kristen Michelle Mallott, Sandeep Kaur Menon, Jessica Marks, Amy Marshall, Amelia Jane Song Martin, Georgina Martin, Diana Mambu, Jenny Grace McClung, Shayla McConaughey, Sarah Janelle McEwen, Karen McKenna, Sarah McPherson, Sarah Grace Meager, Stephanie McCosey, Rebecca Meehan, Miranda Meerveld, Ida Melichersikova, Karen Grace Mendoza, Cole Migvar, Heather Louise Millen, Tally Mitchell, Natasha Mladenovsky, Lindsay Nicole Moffett, Mona, Rebecca Christine Moore, Tyler Moriara, Lisa Morgan, Charity Morrow, Karen Muehlbuck, Sophia Mugnani, Nicole Murillo, Jessica Lynn Nagy, Lisa Nash Mika, Nevin Navodia, Rachel Lynn Nilison, Kimberly Newcomb, Amanda Lee Noren, Ashley Norman.
Loretta Adesua Obasuyi Osa Agi. Alyssa Margaret Ogborn. Jennifer Olart Godoy. Michael Osayer. Juliana Asta Zuska. Jonathan Raphael Austing. Christine Elizabeth Otto. Stephanie Lynn Ovsek. John David Palmer. Claudia Pask. Deanna Marie Pazzaretti. Maria Elizabeth Payson. Angela Marie Penner. Christine Penny, Diane Pereira, Laura Peters, Catherine Ann Phibbs, Sarah Fu, Rose Caroline Picacci, Diana Margaret Piersanti, Olivia Potvin, Marlena Anna Bukeka, Matthew Thomas Purdy, Sarah Kwan, Elizabeth Ramey, Matthew Reckman, Kim Michael Reyes, Linda Dawn Rhodes, Linda C. Richards, Terry Richards, Joanne Richardson, Hayat Rifat Bayer, Shaylane Ritchie, Trisha Ritchie, Kaylee Roberts, Ashton Roberts, Eric James Robertson, Jessica Rollison, Kelsey Romitz, Mariella Rosales, April Rose, Erica Marie Rosario, Jessica Rosima, Nicole Rutherford. Taylor Elizabeth Saunders. Amy Sawatsky. Jessica Ann Scapinello. Samantha Lauren Shime. Inez Sedek. Stephanie Seguin. Scarlett Mink Young Sao. Nikki Maria Severino. Bafine Faith Shamala. Yu Shang. Jessica Shantz. Divya Sharma. Chelsea Shawley. Jillian Rose Shepard. Rachel Shepard. Yu Mi Shim. Kaylee Marie Shug. Anusha Sivalawaraja. Christina Maria Skoko. Chad Douglas Smith. Matthew William Alexander Smith. Melissa Snook. Rebecca Glenn Soward. April Lynn Spicer. Lauren Caroline Spink. Jillian Stenitis. Candace Marie Lynn Stevens. Jamie Lynn Stevens. Jillian Stevenson. Sarah Jane Elizabeth Stewart. Jennifer Stillman. Amanda Danielle Stoddart. Carolyn Stone. Miranda Kathleen Strook. Brittany Michelle Stukas. Amanda Sullivan. Chrissy Sullivan. Irene Victoria Sunak. Margaret Sunmola. Sarah Suresh. Vanessa Swioklo. Magdalena Sharametta. Sarah Marie Tamandong. Candace Emily Taylor. Katrina Michelle Tenage. Lauren Terpstra. Alum Gebreckers Tesfaye. Shazem Thawer Solomon. Ashley Thomas. Amanda Thompson. Mary Elizabeth Thuss. Lauren Elizabeth Tingy. Elizabeth Melnick Kachishin. Jessica Louise Tolan. Madeline Diane Tonys. Samantha Townsend. Sinead Marie Tozer. Francis Claberio Trahay. Megan Trimble. Marie Pierre Trudel. Antonio Tobias Tagade. Baraka Diane Tyrell. Urina Uno. Bethany Roberta Vandering. Martha Valle. Amber Lee Vanderhyde. Aletta Johanna Vanderhoeven. Julianne Vandermeer Tatum. Danielle Vanderwijs. Jessica Venick. Aline Joy Verhoel. Kara Vickers. Caitlin Visser. Gunanthony Visuvalingam. Becky Voisin. Kelly Marie Vondervoort. Brian Vuong. Christine Vine. Sarah Waddle. Sarah Walker Hill. Amanda Rose Walters. Tiffany Wardle. Kira Watler. Melissa Marie Webster. Christy Y. Heather Michelle Whitfield. Jolisa Helena Whiten. Helen Marie Wilk. Emily Williamson. Ainsley Wilson. Melissa Wilson. Denise Womersley. Holly Warden. Joanna Wu. Tina Yang. Sarah Zawislack. Leanne Chang. Lisa Athena Ziza. Laura Zarowski.
Mr. Chancellor, may I present to you the following graduates of the degree Bachelor of Medical Radiation Sciences. Elise Ayerson. Saleha Ahmed. Mohammed Nazai Arkmar. Michael Omaid Nurdim Ali Alimi. Pira Apina. Lucas Arnold. Dion Can Yan An. Lisa Baker. Sarah Christine Beaker. Thank you. Dana Elaine Beeson. Katie Blanchard. Helena Booty Hartono. Brianna Busby. Ashley Sarah Buswell. Dustin Kate. Christy Chan. Eva Chan. Christina Marie Chisholm. Tracy Clark. Christina Angela Coloma. Cassandra Deanna John Costola. Michael Gray Crombie. Kelly Dida. Jasnik Dollywall. Julie Donaldson. Chantel Dudek. Haley Ann Ferguson. Jessica Fu. Caitlin Nicole Gazzo. Jenna Elizabeth Harrington. Megan Hewitt. Christy Higgins. Frida Hahn. Jenna Lee Hoganboon. Justine Ann Ines. Agata Karakula. Sarah Kareem. Allison Kearns. Jenny Kenny. Omar Kasiba. Joao Kim. Rebecca Kim. Sarah King.
Priya Ladd. Kate Elaine Lansdale. Olivia Lazowski. Carmen Michelle Lau. Catherine Hoyling Lee. Patricia Lee. Brian Lee. Thomas James Marsh. Nicole Ann Matichuk. Rebecca Alexandra McClung. Julie Mika. Fatima Bano Muhammad. Vanessa Lily Marie Montero. Janessa Moore. Danielle Mulder. Courtney Lynn O'Connor. Lisa Ortigoza. Nicholas Papalia. Heather Nahe Park. Ekta Patel. Taslima Patel. Erin Alexandra Pelton. Justin Roy Price. Anita Rafach. Laura Reese. Emily Claire Ann Rumbles. Stephanie Say. Amanda Selkirk. Michelle Seo. Sophia Elizabeth Sailicki. Sume Margaret Skinner. Lana Anjani Sukalal. Kirby Stahlbaum. Stephanie Swales. Diane Tate. Wilson Tang. Jessica Thatch. Monique Tse. Fahad Patel. Thea Willette Vanden Temple. Grace Ann Van Gemeren. Cassandra Joy Vandenbos. Jenny Won. Amanda Catherine Webb. Elena Lynn Weigel. Nicole Kathleen Winslow. Melissa Wong. Shauna Lynn Worthington. And Kyle Chain Zhang.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to introduce you to Ms. Nicole Gabrielle, a graduate of the Bachelor of Nursing program, who will deliver the valedictory address.
Good morning. Chancellor, President Patrick Dean, Dr. Roach, dignitaries, parents and family, teachers, and to my fellow graduating classmates of the McMaster Mohawk Conestoga Nursing Program, the McMaster Mohawk Medical Radiation Sciences Program, and the graduate students. I stand before you with a multitude of feelings pulsating through my body, with emotions of happiness, excitement, sadness, fear, and anxiety. which I'm sure many of you are experiencing as we come to the end of our program and move into the bright futures ahead of us. In Australian Aboriginal mythology, the concept referred to as the dreaming is one by which present-day Aboriginals still live by. It presents a moral code that ties their spirituality to the earth. They learn about this unique concept through Dreamtime stories, which gives them morals and values. This is where the Australian Aboriginal proverb is important in our context as new graduates. Those who lose dreaming are lost. There is a strong power held in the hopes and aspirations created through dreams. If we lack our values that we have learned and demonstrated through our chosen professions, and without dreams for our lives, we too could become lost. I am sure there have been many moments sitting in anatomy class or any required class of your respective program where we sometimes question the value of the theoretical knowledge we are learning and how it can be practically applied and used to make a difference in our clinical experience. We remember all of the late nights staying up to finish a paper, or the endless evenings spent drowning in coffee as we studied for exams. Or what about the countless night shifts only to come home to have class in an hour, feeling as if sleep, seriously, would never come. These are challenging moments that have certainly made us question, at times, our personal reasoning as to why we have entered the profession for which we have been training for. It was during my fourth-year clinical placement in Western Australia, while working in various Aboriginal communities, that I realized my skills as a healthcare provider were both challenged and sharpened. This experience helped me to become aware of the significant impact that we as healthcare providers can have. An example is when I developed an understanding of the dental problems that uniquely face the Aboriginal population, specifically the children. Some were only 4 years of age who already had rotting teeth. They had never seen a toothbrush or had never been taught about the importance of brushing their teeth. I used the tools that had been given to me through my education and persevered to get toothbrush donations, run educational sessions, and start health promotion programs. My actions marked the beginning of an increase in quality of care and health in those communities. The programs I initiated continue to be run by healthcare providers today. I am sure we have all had those moments where knowledge of theory became meaningful and useful in practice. What we are doing with our lives has an impact on those individuals with whom we interact, whether it be a direct or indirect impact. We sit here today with the education and the tools to go out into the world and put what we know into action. Whether you choose to stay and work in Hamilton or travel to another destination, you will bring with you the values that you have learned in your program here at McMaster. I feel I can speak on behalf of all of us when I say that this institution has taught us the importance to teach, to challenge, to question, to listen, to learn, to empower, to inspire, to connect. It has helped open our eyes to see what we would have never been able to see or comprehend before. It has helped open our hearts to the wonders and beauty of the world. And it has helped show us the capabilities that we as individuals possess and the limitless possibilities once we harness these unique talents. An inspirational quote from Rhonda Byron from her book entitled The Secret suggests, "Live the life of your dreams. Everything you would love to be, do, or have has always been closer than you knew, because the power to everything you want is inside you." To the graduates of 2011, I challenge you to make this idea your reality. Find your passion, your motivation, your inspiration, and don't ever stop dreaming. Thank you.
Graduates, you entered this hall as graduands, but now your degrees have been conferred and you are officially members of the McMaster Alumni Association. To welcome you to the association, I invite Karen McQuigg to deliver the Alumni Association address.
Chancellor Wilson, President Dean, President McIsaac, faculty, fellow alumni, honored guests, and members of the McMaster class of 2011. As director of the alumni program at McMaster and on behalf of our Alumni Association President Bill McLean, I have the privilege today of representing the Mac alumni family, a family that will have grown by over 5,000 this spring. The 147,000 members of the McMaster Alumni Association are an unconventional family. We don't expect invitations to your birthday, and we won't ask you to help us move furniture. Instead, we're united by common experiences and shared pride. We are proud when Ivan Reitman, class of 1969, is nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. When Julie Angus, class of 1997, becomes the first woman to row across the Atlantic Ocean, or when Stephen Elop, class of 86, becomes CEO of Nokia. And most importantly, your fellow alumni take pride in you. In 2009, your Alumni Association surveyed MAC grads and found that pride in our alma mater and our fellow alumni is exceptionally high. The reasons for that pride are numerous and as individual as our graduates. If you do need some external validation, though, just remember, McMaster is one of only 4 universities in Canada that is ranked within the top 100 universities in the world. So go ahead and brag about earning your degree at Mac. You are well justified in doing so. I encourage you to exercise that pride by staying connected to McMaster, Mohawk, and Conestoga. Read your alumni magazine, follow the associations on email, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. Become a mentor. Participate in an event. Take advantage of the preferred rates offered to alumni through our affinity programs. Become a donor or a volunteer. And perhaps one day you will be in the same seat as our Chancellor, Dr. Wilson, a graduate of the class of 1962, who has continued his active association with his university for almost 50 years since graduation. There is a place for all of you in our alumni associations. You may be an occasional event participant or leadership volunteer, but as you take your post-secondary experiences into the years and decades ahead, remember that you are all ambassadors and advocates for your alma mater. Your achievements are the best advertisement for the value of a McMaster degree. Today, we celebrate your success as students and toast the promise of your bright futures as alumni. We offer you our most sincere congratulations and a very warm welcome to our family. Thank you.
I invite Dr. Dean back to the podium to deliver the President's address.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chancellor, Madam Provost, Dr. Roach, Dean Kelton, Associate Dean Tompkins, distinguished faculty, graduating students, ladies and gentlemen. And Nicole, if I may start, what great words you've offered to the students. I couldn't have put it better myself, how important it is to think of a life of teaching, challenging, listening, and questioning. And there is much to think about in those words. Within the walls of this auditorium today, graduates, you are both in and out of time, and the medieval rituals in which we've all been engaged drive that point home. For now, for this few hours, your past is concluded, and your future is not yet demanding attention. You can bask in the pleasure of your achievement, in the fellowship of your classmates and friends, and in the adoration or perhaps the relief of your parents and family. My warmest congratulations to you for all you have done. Now, as you've heard from Karen, Convocation is a gathering of the university family, and with this ceremony today, we welcome you permanently into membership of that family. So, in that respect, this event is not unlike a wedding. And the thought prompts me just to comment that if you hadn't noticed, since you arrived at the university, we've in fact only been engaged. The results of your examinations have provided good evidence that this is a match worth sustaining. So today we've tied the knot that binds you to McMaster forever. Forever, it's a frightening concept to look into the future. So much for being both in and out of time, one can't avoid the forward gaze. The future awaits, and you must go from here and meet it. Or to put this a different way, I should say that for each of you there is a future that awaits, and you must go forth and make it. And that rewording is important because my theme today is not that your future is predetermined, but rather that when you leave this hall, you will each be agents in history, relatively free, with power to shape both your own destiny and the destiny of your communities, your nation, and the planet. And if you're able to find it within yourselves to do that, it is an act of will. And I expect you shall be able to do that. The real question to be answered then is how. Not by what practical means, but in what spirit you will approach the world. Now, I could push my wedding analogy a little further. You'll be aware that in most wedding services of one sort or another, the couple entering into the marriage are encouraged to do so in a particular spirit. In one version, they're told to enter into marriage not unadvisedly, lightly or wantonly, but reverently, discreetly, advisedly, and soberly. These are all, I think, admirable characteristics for graduates of this institution. But that would be going a bit far. The graduates of this fine university, in taking up their agency in the world, do have responsibilities that must be discharged, however. With the privilege of higher education, and in particular a McMaster education, comes the expectation that your future actions will redound to the benefit of those less privileged, of humanity at large, and through all of that, to the credit of your alma mater. The future which you make for yourselves is the future of us all. A very important point. So in what spirit then should you approach that future? On occasions like this, hyperbole is the normal thing. You know too, at the Oscars, for example, that when a completely unknown star comes to the podium to accept an award, they say something like this: I just want everyone to know that if you just want something hard enough, if you work at it hard enough, you will succeed. As Christina Aguilera said at the Grammys not so long ago, look at that, I'm here, it worked for me. So there's a version of that speech that would be quite appropriate given here from the Convocation stage. And of course, I certainly do applaud the positive message. It is certainly true that in some cases, sheer disciplined determination does bring success. But it does not always do so, despite what you hear at the Oscars. Today, I want to recommend to you the virtue of a very different kind of self-discipline. And it's possible that it won't reverberate for you quite so well today, when you all feel, as is your right, like queens and kings of the world. But I hope that in time you will come to understand better its importance. So an anecdote. I was recently in Beijing to attend a World Summit of University Presidents. part of which was a special session focusing on the issue of the universities and social responsibility. Now, on show, there were, as you can imagine, many very different understandings of what we mean by that phrase, social responsibility. But one intervention in particular has stayed with me in the weeks since my return. And this came from Dr. Junichi Hamada, president of Tokyo University, who indicated that in the days since the earthquake and the tsunami devastated the northeastern part of his country, Japanese society has markedly lost confidence in science, technology, and even education. And in consequence, a gap has opened up between the universities and the public at large, where once the two were joined in a relationship of optimism, confidence, and high aspirations, there is now skepticism and doubt. Now, in part, this news was easy to understand and not at all surprising. The failure of engineers and scientists successfully to contain the crisis at the Fukushima nuclear power plant was bound to provoke a collapse of confidence of some sort. And as the days have turned into weeks, and prior assurances about the safety of people living in close proximity to the plant have been shown to be unfounded, cynicism has proliferated. But still, I found myself wondering why the fact of the earthquake and the tsunami themselves should affect public confidence in science. After all, while it is true that scientists may be able on rare occasions to predict disasters, and quite commonly to advise on preparing for them, it remains the case that science can no more prevent natural disasters occurring than Canute, the Danish King of England, could successfully command the tide to halt and not surge forward to wet his feet and robes. I'm sure most of you know that story. It's as you can infer from my comments. King Canute is reputed to have placed a throne on the beach, and then as the tide was coming in, ordered it not to do so. Not a very wise thing to do. It's a story that's not frequently understood properly, however. In our modern age, Canute is usually cited as an example of early Western megalomania. Apparently what we know, all of us in this room, namely that the seas and the weather, the natural elements will listen to no man, he didn't know, perhaps being drunk on power or deluded by religious superstition. That's the popular version of the story of Canute. But if you go to the histories, if you read the one extant, more or less contemporary account of what he did, the story is very different. The point of Canute's actions in ordering back the sea is to remind his courtiers and clerics of nothing less than the limitations of human knowledge and of human power. He orders back the sea, it comes in nevertheless, and his feet become wet. Once they're wet and he's made his point, he takes off and he hangs up his crown in a symbolic acknowledgement of the limitations of his own power. The moral of the story, told 800 years ago, is that there are very significant limitations to the human ability to achieve, and that in some contexts, our desires and aspirations, no matter what we do, as healthcare providers, as educators, as scientists, our desires and expectations, our technology can all be irrelevant. At the conference in Beijing, I wondered whether the public disillusionment of which Dr. Hamada spoke was not, in some way, connected to or even nurtured by the extravagance with which universities themselves occasionally frame their aspirations and make claims to an unrealistic level of influence and effectiveness. Think about it. What happened to Canute on the beach was natural and expected, and it could only have been cause for humiliation and embarrassment if he had previously asserted that he could make the sea concede to his will. I'm not suggesting that science in Japan, or anywhere else for that matter, is subject to the level of self-delusion embodied in the popular conception of Canute, but I am wanting to sound a warning to you to reject the false certainties and spurious confidence in progress, which is one of the defining attributes of our time. I notice now that Dr. Hamada has posted on the web a very fine essay on his university and its public responsibility. And there he makes claims with which I would certainly agree, namely that in our turbulent and changing age, the Academy is expected to sketch out the outline of a new form of society and to mark the path to reach that goal. This is a proper ambition. If you were to read the essay, you would notice that it is expressed in terms appropriately modest in a post-Fukushima context. There are no grand claims for the ability of science to conquer all challenges, but it has to be noted, nevertheless, that Dr. Hamada expresses the aspirations of the Academy through a linear metaphor. We're on a path, he says, which must lead somewhere. And the presumption we're invited to make is that where it leads will in some sense be better than where we are at present. This kind of thinking used to be called evolutionary meliorism because it assumed that we are always in the process of becoming better than we were, of being more powerful, more insightful, more in command of nature and its intractable forces. So is this the spirit, this optimistic spirit, the one in which you should approach your future? Optimism certainly has a place, a very important place, in building a culture of health and prosperity, in underwriting scientific speculation and investigation, in driving forward to solve the problems of humanity through research, humanitarian work, and care. There's undoubtedly truth in what that young actor says on the stage at the Oscars, when he or she says that if you believe in yourself or in a cause, anything is possible. But it is only a partial truth, and a sentimental one at that. And on an occasion like this, as you celebrate what you have achieved, what you know, what you can do, it is important to hold yourself to the discipline of acknowledging what you don't know, what you may not be able to do, and the possibility that some achievements may remain forever beyond your grasp. That questioning spirit which Nicole recommended to you is utterly critical. Why is this so? We habitually talk as if the great achievements of humankind were all the result of this kind of determination, resolve, and single-minded pursuit of an idea. Even if that is true, there is a countervailing point that you must consider. And this is that single-mindedness lies also at the base of our greatest man-made tragedies, which is another reason why skepticism and doubt, questioning, must go with you into your futures. To illustrate what I mean in closing, I'd like to recall the late Jacob Bronowski, a mathematician, a biologist, and an historian of science, who in a famous television series aired in 1973, bent down to lift from a pond at Auschwitz, the death camp, a wet handful of the ashes of the Holocaust dead, thereby invoking perhaps the greatest of all man-made tragedies. And this is what he said: "Science is a very human form of knowledge. We're always on the brink of the known. We always feel forward for what is to be hoped. Every judgment in science stands on the edge of error and is personal. Science is a tribute to what we can know, although we are fallible." That is the point. There are limits to knowledge. At its furthest extension, science stands on the edge of mistake. Bronowski quotes the English historical figure Oliver Cromwell, who said to the Scottish Church, "I beseech you, think it possible that you may be mistaken." Sir Lawrence van der Post, a scientist, wrote not so long ago that human beings are perhaps never more frightening than when they are convinced beyond doubt that they are right. The university exists not only to foster the finding of new knowledge or the creation of new art, music, and literature. Its purpose is also to help us understand these things as products of the human mind and imagination, and through them to grasp what it means to be human, standing always in history and on the edge of error. And there, on the edge of error, is where those of you who are committed to a career in health and care have the greatest work to do. I want to quote Florence Nightingale. You may know this quote, and if you don't, you should commit it to memory. Nightingale wrote this: "Nursing is an art, and if it is to be made an art, it requires an exclusive devotion, as hard as preparation as any painter's or sculptor's work. It is one of the fine arts. I had almost said the finest of arts." Why should that be so? Because it is in our imperfect humanity, our inability to stop the sea, to stop aging, to eliminate disease, to avoid violence and bloodshed, that we have the most need of those committed to care, to the health sciences. I want to return in closing to words spoken by our honorary degree recipient, Sister Roach. She spoke about caring as inseparable from the human way of being. That is a most inspiring thought, graduates. Your future must be a triumph not of the personal will, but it must be of humane wisdom, human artistry, and caring. And in that spirit, I commend you to the years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for those wise and inspirational words. I'd also like to thank Nicole for her forthright and enthusiastic approach to where we go from here. And good luck to you in all of that, Nicole. This year, in congratulating all of you, I'm wondering if the level of enthusiasm among this class is as great as it has been in past years. This is the fourth convocation that I presided at, and I haven't heard quite the level of enthusiasm from the class. Let me hear it. That sounds pretty good, because this afternoon we have the engineers, and they will want to know where they stand in relation to the nurses. Let me, on your behalf, thank the faculty and staff, our colleagues at Mohawk College, President McIsaac, and all of those that have looked after you and your education in the past several years. I might also ask on your behalf if I could thank those who are involved in putting this ceremony together. A lot of backstage, backroom activity takes place to make this ceremony what it is. So if I may, on your behalf, thank all of those who do that. We are past noon, and I realize that some of you may be looking for refreshments or meetings with your family, so I won't prolong the proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, pinning ceremonies for the nursing graduates and their guests will be in the Hamilton Convention Center at 2 p.m., and a reception will follow each ceremony. Flowers that have been delivered for graduates will be available at the coat check in the main lobby. I'd ask you to please remain standing at your seats until the academic procession and the graduates have left the hall. I'd ask you to rise now and join with me in the singing of our national anthem. After the singing of the anthem, this convocation stands adjourned.